Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you live. I'm here in the cold city of Anchorage, Alaska, and I wanted to give you an update on where I am in the sacred, let me get the exact title, Sacred Woman book by Queen Afua. I am on part 2 now, entitled Womb Wisdom, and I haven't completed it yet, but I'm starting on chapter 2. But what I wanted to do is give you an update on, and I'm looking in my book here, chapter 1, Khamatic Nubian Philosophy. And so I just wanted to tell you what I read about in just my little summary of that chapter. Okay, so in the Khamatic Nubian Philosophy chapter, what she talks or speaks on is she gives a brief overview of the Khamatic history and the way of life, and it sounds like it was mainly centered around Mayat, meaning harmony. I've heard other people refer to Mayat as balance, so I'm thinking maybe it's interchangeable. I'm not sure, but so it was very interesting to read about Khamatic or Kemet, which is ancient Egyptian civilization and history. I thought that was pretty cool. And then also she talked about how their belief system, they believed in the balance between the masculine and feminine energies, and that also pertained to their spirituality. So they didn't only concentrate on the male image. I think that's the best way I want to say it. Equal acknowledgement was given to both male and female, so they referred to as the mother, father, creator. Let me see here. I wrote down some notes. Okay, so the next thing that they talked about were the 42 laws of Mayat, and there are 42 of them. And what the thought process behind that is that Judgment Day is every day. And so what a person would do is in the morning, or at sunrise, between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., they would recite the 42 laws of Mayat. And I'm not going to go through all of those laws right now. And they would say, I will not do this. I will not, behave this way or that way. And then at the end of the day, they would go back through the list and say, I have not done this, reciting the 42 laws of Mayat again. But they would say, I have not. And I'm not sure what they would do if they ran across one of the laws that they broke. It really doesn't go into that. But I think that's pretty, I like that. Every day is Judgment Day. And so what you do is you take inventory of yourself to see if you conducted yourself in a manner that is pleasing both to yourself, that is in harmony with nature, with other people, so I can appreciate that. Let me see here. She also talks about how the Kemites used the 4 elements of water, earth, air, and fire, and they used, depending on what they wanted to accomplish, they would use these elements for purification, for healing, recharging, and also for controlling their lives. She talks about what the Kemites ate and what their spiritual practices were. And then she also talks about how she came into the knowledge of self and the different teachers that she worked with, or those people who walked her through the process. And so, let me see here. Oh yeah, okay. And so she also goes into the origination of the pre-dynastic Kemites, and she talks about the Twa people and I can't think of the other group. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't want to take up too much time. She refers to them as the Anu and Twa ancestors, which are now insultingly labeled as pygmies. And she's saying that they were the originators of pre-dynastic Khamatic civilization and built the holy city. And so, I mean, that was really cool for me to read. I'm not a history person. I'm not really into reading about history, but because I wanted to learn more about our ancient roots and things like that, you know, because it's just been so either hidden or it's been misrepresented or what have you, you know, I find it really interesting. So let me see, there's one more note I have here. Oh, okay, and so at the very end, she gives you an introduction to the ancient Khamatic Nubian spiritual energies, as well as a glossary on the ancient Khamatic terms. And so one of the terms that I really love to use now is Hetipu, and I hope I'm saying that right. And Hetipu means peace unto you. I've heard or I've seen people say Hotep, and I've used Hotep in some of my emails and things like that. I haven't actually greeted people in person using those terms, but I think we're going to start doing that, and I'll probably throw some folks off, especially at church. So we'll see how that goes. But anyhow, I'm enjoying this. I started reading part 2. Oh, no, okay. I don't want to miss this part. At the very, very end, there's a prayer for the Wombniverse. And I mean, I was reading the prayer and I almost got emotional. I had to catch myself, but it's so beautiful. So I would say, even if you're not into poetry, you know, read it. And I think both men and women can benefit from reading this. It's so beautiful, and it's so powerful. I'm not going to read it, but yeah, you don't want to miss out on that. So part 2, Womb Wisdom, is what I'm on now. And that's it starts with chapter 2, talks about Gateway 0, the sacred womb. And so I will keep you posted on what I learned from there, and I'll give you my little summary when that's completed. So I hope you all are having a blessed day. Hetipu, peace and blessings to you, and I will talk to you later. Take care of yourself. Bye. It's still recording. I'm trying to let some of the time keep going because the webcam will cut me off, and I don't want to have to make 2 separate videos. So wouldn't be a big deal, but if I can get it all on one, that would be great. So I'll let that keep going.